Hey, it's your girl Autumn, and we are back with another edition of As a Fan of College Football. This is where I talk about and cover college football related content through the eyes of a fan, and we about to talk about the number one team in the country. But before we do that, I need for you to hit the like button. Especially if you're a Buckeye fan, like stop playing with me. Y'all be watching my videos and stuff, and my little shorts or whatever, and I'm gonna need y'all to start hitting the like and the subscribe. And I'm also need y'all to hit the notification bell so that whenever I'm out here in these YouTube streets, you'll be the first to know. Let's get started and talk about number one, Ohio State, who went out to number 17, Illinois, and won the game. First things first, what I'm hearing in the streets, the social media streets, and I'm also hearing this from Buckeye fans too. And I had to go on a whole rant after the game. Where actually that was Sunday. I had to go on a whole rant about the things that I have been seeing on social media, not only from like haters, but also from Buckeye fans. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit later in this video. But what I'm hearing from the haters is that an 18-point win over Illinois is not good enough. It's not good enough. Um, they're nobody. Indiana beat them 63-10, so we should have beat them by a lot more. All of these things is what I'm hearing, and it's crazy. But anywho, um, another defensive showdown for the Buckeyes, who scored 3 touchdowns off of takeaways. The defense also had 4 sacks, held Illinois to 47 total yards in rushing, but Illinois actually 8 in receiving yards. Defensive back David Igbinosun had 4 pass breaks, and when he was asked about it in the post-game interview, he was like, "I did? Well, stop throwing at me," which was pretty funny. But he was that guy. He was out there getting it in with them 4 pass breakups, and we appreciate you. Illinois' Luke Altmaier threw his first interception of the season, but he had a great game otherwise, going 30-44 for 248 yards. 1 rushing touchdown by Aiden Lawfrey, who had 8 carries for 50 yards. 1 rushing touchdown by Colin Dixon, who had 4 catches, 46 yards, and 1 terrible snafu with their punter, Gldn Crimmins, who was snapped the ball. The ball was pretty low. It was snapped pretty low. And he went down to scoop it up. And when he went down to scoop it up, he actually put his knee down. And that gave the Buckeyes the ball on the 38-yard line. On the 38. I know he is kicking himself in the butt. Like, I know he's, poor kid. I know he is, like, really pissed off about doing that. I mean, they wouldn't have won the game had he kicked it all the way off. But I know he's feeling a way about that. Offensively, the Buckeyes stats don't look all that great, but there's actually a reason for this. So let's talk about the stats, and then we're going to talk about the reason for it. Jeremiah Smith. Okay, let's see. So let's start with Julian. Julian Sayin had was 19 of 27 and threw for 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jeremiah Smith had 5 catches. It's kind of funny. 5 catches, 42 yards, and 1 touchdown. Like, you never see those types of numbers from Jeremiah. Carnell Tate also had 4 catches, 41 yards, no touchdowns. Total rushing yards at 106, led by Bo Jackson, 10 carries for 47 yards, and CJ Donaldson, 13 carries for 44 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 1 receiving touchdown. Let's talk about why these stats look like ass this week. They played on a short field for the majority of the game. Did y'all peep that? Like, I even had to take a look. I had to go through when I was, putting my notes together or whatever. I had to go through the play-by-play and see why these stats were so trash. Like, what was going on? And it's because they played on a short field the majority of the time. So I recorded every single time that they scored. I didn't go every single series, but I looked at every single time they scored. It was 35 yards. They scored a touchdown, so they had 35 yards to go when they got the ball, when the ball was kicked off to them. 35 yards again to a field goal, 25 yards to a field goal. And that was probably like one of the turnovers. 26 yards to a touchdown, 63 yards to a touchdown, which was the best field position that Illinois had on defense, and 24 yards to a touchdown. Yeah, so there were one, two, three, four, five, six out of those six scores. Only one was over 40 yards. It was 63, went from 35 to 63. Like, there were no this it was just a short field. It was pretty crazy. Like, it was pretty crazy. So that's why their stats looked the way that they did. So still a whole lot of talking about the lack of explosiveness, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how you're supposed to be super explosive on a short field. People are still feeling like Ryan Day. Actually, people were calling for Brian Hartline to be fired. I don't understand it. We won by 18. Like, why would you think that Brian Hartline needs to be fired right now? If you don't, I don't. How many times does Ryan Day have to say? There's no need. If we don't have to be aggressive, there's, why would we be aggressive if we don't need to be? They are winning these games, um, and that's what we need from them. Like, I know that people want to see style points. I know that people want to see all of these great plays and, like, have all of these great things to talk about. But you can have all of them great plays or whatever and lose the game, and none of that stuff makes any, it doesn't make anything better, right? I am okay right now with the way that the Buckeyes are playing. I'm loving Ryan Day's attitude of, like, we really ain't did nothing. Like, that's his attitude every week. Like, they're like, oh, you guys did this, and he's like, we haven't done anything. And I feel like he's just, he knows that they're ranked number one. He doesn't care about that. He feels like that's just a target on their backs, and he just wants to go out there and win the game. He just wants to go out there and get it done. And I can respect him on that. And this is why I really stay calm when everybody's in an uproar about, firing Brian Hartline over some BS, and, upset that day. It's just completely uncalled for. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Again, I know we want to see a whole lot of stuff going on, especially from Julian saying, but it's not like we haven't seen Julian throw downfield. It's not like we haven't seen Jeremiah making a hand catch. I think he might have done it twice this year. It's not like we haven't seen Carnell Tate ball out. Like, it's not like making excellent catches, get like NFL catches, both feet down. Like, I don't know what else y'all want. It's not like the defense is not out here running over folks. And I know that I'm probably the only fan right now that's not super worried about coaching when the big game happens on 11/29. But, I know I'm gonna be nervous. I'm gonna be, it's gonna be a big game. It is what it is. Like, it's not like I'm not going to, like, freak out a week before like I did last year. Like, it's the week is gonna come up before we know it, and I'm going to just be ready to, and I'm gonna just be walking around the house like, dog, we cannot lose this game. Like, we have to win this game. So it's not, don't take what I'm saying as like I'm not, like my worries are not enough, because of course, like, we cannot lose this game to these bums again this year. However, one thing for sure, two things for certain: Ryan Day and Brian Hartline and Maddie Patty are not going to make the same mistakes that Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, and what's his name out at Penn State made. They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. There's a reason why those coaches are gone, and we have Brian Hartline and Matt Patricia. There's a reason for that. And everybody knows that after the big game, there was, there was trouble in paradise in the locker room, and in the coaches' offices. We know that, and that's why there was such a big change in coaches. So I think that we have the formula to win this rivalry game. And again, Michigan ain't all that, but again, they wasn't all that last year. And honestly, they wasn't all that the year before, for real. I mean, like, I guess they was, because I guess they won the championship after they cheated their way up. But um, and last year, last year's, I mean, year before last game was like crazy, right? Like, that was, it came down to like, what was it, Kyle McCord throwing that interception or whatever. Like, it was just a crazy game. But this game is crazy every single year. They're playing at the big house this year, and I feel confident that we're gonna win the game. I do. Again, am I gonna be like hella like irritated all week and nervous about it? Absolutely, because it's such a big game. But I do think that we have what it takes this time around to go into Ann Arbor and win that game. So everybody, chill the hell out. Chill out. Knock it off. Be cool. We still have games that we need to focus on before we get there. I know, we're not playing any ranked teams, I guess, through the end of the season, and none of that matters. Again, anybody can have a bad game on any given Saturday. Just like, uh, you know, I can't remember who it was we played earlier this year. I don't think we had a bad game, but we didn't play like the way that everybody felt like we should have played. Like, we should have blew this particular team out. Oh, Ohio. It was Ohio, the MAC, former MAC champions or whatever. Like, they thought we should have blew them out, and I don't think we had a bad game against them. I just think that it just wasn't, it wasn't a run up the score type of a game. Like, we won the game fair and square. It was clean, and it was fine. Like, I honestly don't know what everybody's issue is. I understand that they're uptight about playing Michigan, but we got to stop this, and we need to support our coaches, and send all the good vibes that we can, and sit back and enjoy college football. All this whining and crying and all this, and I'm over it. Let's stop this. Let's get Buckeye fans. Let's knock it off. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Number one, Ohio State will head to Wisconsin for a Big Ten matchup. And Illinois, who fell out of the poll, surprisingly, like, because they were number 17. I don't feel like they should have fell completely out of the poll after losing to the number one team in the country, but that's just me. They are on a bye. So, fans, Buckeye fans, haters, whoever's watching, how y'all feel about this game? Like, did Ohio State play up to their potential? Do you guys think that we should have beat Illinois more than what we did? Do you guys think that people are being too hard on the coaches, or they are not, being hard enough on them? I want to know what y'all think in the comments. Just let me know. And before you hear me or see me again, peace.